Really happy to see all of you here. It's been a while since most of us have talked, so I'm glad this gives us an opportunity to get together. The main purpose of this meeting is to kind of go around, given the fact that a lot of us are in quarantine right now, a lot of our physical events have been canceled or postponed. It's been tough for us all to really get together. This gives us that outlet. So we're going to go around, try to get some, we as the Supreme Lodge want to get some chapter updates from you guys. We want to be able to give you guys some updates from national down to the local level. And we want to make sure that everybody across our organization is, staying safe, staying informed, staying involved, and staying together. So that being said, what I'm going to do is the first thing I want to do is actually go around and have everyone introduce themselves, introduce where you're from and your position, and kind of if there's been any, like how you've been responding to this coronavirus crisis, how you've been handling it. If there's been any major issues that you want to let us know about, feel free to let us know. If not, that's fine too. But if you don't have a chapter position, just tell us you're a member at large, and we'll go from there. So I'm going to call names out as I see them, and just unmute yourself, say your spiel, and then mute yourself back, and we'll move accordingly. So let's start with Yanni. Yes, make sure to unmute yourself before you start talking.
New Jersey or Canadas?
Oh, Canadas. Canadas, you're muted. You're still muted.
Are you starting with Lodge people?
What about now?
Yes. Yeah, I unmuted you physically.
Well,
so.
Usually when you press the space button,
That's all right. So go ahead, Yanni.
yeah, Yanni Ganatas, Supreme Treasurer from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Used to be chapter president for a while. Our current chapter president is also on here. Another Yanni as well. That's why I was confused. That's it for me.
Okay, Ryan.
My mute thing almost disappeared. Anyways, hi, I'm Ryan. I'm from Atlanta. I'm the Supreme Secretary of the Lodge, and I'm from Atlanta.
Thanks, Ryan. Tim.
Hey guys, I'm Tim. I'm the Supreme Vice President from Toronto, Canada, and I'm glad everyone could join us today.
Okay, and I mean, the Lodge I've really talked to a lot, and we've kind of talked to each other, so I kind of know how you guys are handling, but starting from now on, like if you guys could just talk a little bit about like how you've been, like what you've been doing for the last month, how you've been handling the crisis, again, if you've had any major issues, and any chapter, like let's go ahead and do chapter updates now. So any chapter updates you might have, anything you might be planning, how you've been responding as a chapter, how you've been responding as a person, and we'll go from there. So next on my screen is Savas. I'm going to go ahead and unmute you. Okay.
Hi, I'm Savas Pericles. I'm a member of the Tampa Sons in Florida, but I currently reside in Gainesville as I go to UF. As far as what I'm involved in, I'm a rising son on the Digital Services Committee. How I've been handling coronavirus, I'm a student, so all my classes have gone online. So it's made some things a little bit inconvenient, and some classes aren't as good as they used to be in person. Also, I'm a teaching assistant for a class, it's made that difficult because I run a lab, and it's difficult to run a lab virtually. But otherwise, I think I'm handling it pretty well, and I'm getting excited as I see things come back to normal, but I know we shouldn't rush things. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Thanks, Thomas. Chris Devances.
What's up, guys? My name is Chris Devances. I'm the District 6 Governor. Originally part of the Bayside chapter, living in the epicenter of the coronavirus in Astoria, Queens. Thankfully, the family's healthy. Everybody's okay, along with myself. Had a little scare, had some symptoms about 2-3 weeks ago, but thankfully everything's okay. Been working from home, and now I'm back in the office. Blessed to be working. I know a lot of people don't have that same luxury, I guess, if you will. So thankfully keeping busy. Lots of video games. It's been a while, but it's keeping me busy, and thankfully time is flying. So on that end, everything is good. As far as the Bayside chapter goes, we unfortunately had to cancel our Bouzouki event, which we were very excited for. It was supposed to be actually not this weekend, the following weekend. We're going to try to postpone it to September, October. Hopefully things will calm down in the next couple months, and people won't be afraid to travel. Maybe we can get a decent out-of-state presence. But other than that, right now, as far as you guys know as well, everything is on hold. So we're just kind of taking it day by day and looking to see what the next step is. So that's pretty much it.
Thanks, Chris. Nikki Konomun.
Hey everybody, my name's Nick Economo. I'm the Seattle chapter president, as well as on the athletic committee for the Rising Suns. We got hit hard in Seattle, but things have basically flatlined. All the schools are closed for the end of the year. I teach elementary PE, and now I'm doing it online, and it sucks. Our Suns chapter is doing fine. We have our HEPA scholarship due this next week. They postponed it a month for the due date. We have a chapter meeting tonight. We're planning a Call of Duty tournament, and we want to invite anyone who wants to be a part of it to join us. And we're going to make a team, and then we're going to kick everyone else's team's butt. We're also going to do a poker tournament if anyone's interested. So that's everything for us in Seattle. Hit me with your gamer tag.
George Diabolitis.
All right, so I'm George. I'm a son at large from London, Ontario, Canada. So far with with school here, it's been canceled. We're doing our schooling online now. I'm in my last year of high school, which sucks for us because I only have 2 classes, and I'm also doing an internship co-op at a 12,000 seat arena that we have here in London. So, I mean, that's pretty much gone for us right now. All of our events have been canceled, so pretty much just staying at home. I'm still working. My dad owns a restaurant, so I mean, and I know it's kind of crazy, Greek owning a restaurant and everything. So I'm there working, and yeah, nothing much going on.
All right, thanks, George. And I don't know if you mentioned, but George is also a rising son on the finance committee this year.
That's right. Yeah, I forgot to say that.
Helpful as far as handling our finances and helping us figure out fundraising efforts on the national level. And up next, Dino Yalourakis.
Hey guys, so I am Dino. I'm the district governor from District 2, and I am a member of the Clearwater chapter. I know from my chapter, we had a couple of ideas for the spring that we wanted to do, but they just couldn't happen now. So basically, all that we have until the district convention is just trying to do stuff together remotely. So that's what I'm trying to pull together for us. And as the district governor, I'm working with the AHEPA to see what we're going to do as a AHEPA family for the district convention. So that's pretty much it for me. With all this, I'm working from home, so it's not bad, but it's not ideal. But everybody's healthy. Everybody's here, so it's nice. It's okay.
Good. Glad to hear it, Dino. Tyler Shanahan.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. My name is Tyler Shanahan. It's good to meet a lot of you. I am the former Lieutenant Governor of District 2. Currently, I'm in Sarasota, Florida, but I work from Washington, D.C. I've been working remotely over the past month for the Cato Institute. It's been very exciting. I'm fully able to work from home, but I'm looking forward to going back to D.C. hopefully in the next month or so. I personally have been doing all right. My family's safe. And so we are very lucky, all things considered. That's it for me.
Thanks, Tyler. Alex Mellis.
How are you guys doing? I'm Alex, president for the Albany chapter. in New York. I got laid off from this, so I've had a lot of time at home to practice ping pong trick shots, read a book, learn something new. I'm also in school, so I've been doing that. My chapter, I was thinking, well, we missed our Chipotle fundraiser by a couple weeks, so that hit us hard. But we are going to have an upcoming Quiplash game. I don't know if you guys know that. It's like Cards Against Humanity, but online. It's really fun. And then potentially making masks. We have to figure out the logistics with that, though. Some people aren't comfortable leaving their house. So what I was thinking maybe is having like a FedEx shipment to everybody who wants to participate's house and then schedule a day from there. But we'll look into that a little bit more. But other than that, my family has been healthy, knock on wood. And so far, I can't really complain much.
Thanks, Alex. Alec Economakis.
Hi guys, I'm Alec. I'm from DC. I'm the chapter president of 334 in Tallahassee. Before this virus, we were hoping to do an Olympics event and a Krispy Kreme fundraiser, but of course, it happened a little bit sooner than expected. So while we were on spring break, everything got canceled. Most of the Tally people are all over Florida right now, so it's been tough kind of getting everybody together. Otherwise, I just finally got back. Have been doing grad school online. 10 out of 10 do not recommend it. This is my first Easter that I spent away from my family. So, of course, I photoshopped me on the face of Drake on the Marvin's Room Take Care cover. But other than that, I've just been trying to get back on my feet and figure out what we can do.
Sounds good, Alec. Yanni Koons.
Hello, everybody. My name is Yanni. I'm the president of the Calgary chapter. What we kind of had planned for the spring was, I guess, obviously taking part in the International Sons Weekend with our T-shirt sales, but unfortunately that got canceled due to COVID. And also we had like a potential softball tournament we were going to put on in the springtime here, but yeah. And what else? Yeah, my family's happy, healthy, I'm doing okay. Unfortunately, I got laid off, but just keeping me busy at home and checking in on how the boys are doing here in Calgary. Everybody's all right, and that's it. Doing okay.
Thanks, Yanni. Greg Stathopoulos.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Greg Stathopoulos, District 6 Treasurer. Chris pretty much covered in Bayside, New York, part of the Bayside Sons. Chris pretty much covered what we got going on with the chapter. Unfortunately, due to the high amounts of cases in New York, we had to cancel our Buzuki event. So we want to reschedule that. But I've been working from home with my desk set up to my right, and then going to play video games with Chris, my PlayStation set up to my left. So I don't move very much, but making the best of it.
Thanks, Greg. Nico Llanos.
All right, guys. My name is Nico Janos. I am the current vice president of Chapter 83 here in Denver, Colorado. I'm also a member of the Rising Sons for the Social Media Committee. I'm also a current sophomore at the University of Colorado Boulder. And along with a bunch of other members here from Denver, we all go there to school. And it's been chaotic. Coming down, moving back, a lot of the members had to have experienced it, and a lot of our members are engineers. So going on Zoom for class is absolutely chaotic when you have 50 people that try and ask a question at once and people interrupting each other. But besides that, we are doing good here though. Looks up to us, not many cases, and it's slowly starting to decline. For the Sons, however, we've had to cancel a lot of events. We had a lot of philanthropic work planned, and it's not going to be pushed back. But as we all know, that is how it is. Our treasurer had to step down for personal reasons, so we have elected a new treasurer. And that's pretty much it. Hope everyone is doing well and stay safe, boys.
Thanks, Nico. Glad to hear from you. Dimitri?
I am Dimitri, and I am the chapter president for Orlando and the athletic director for District 2. And during Corona, basically, like, everything's locked down. But because I'm in high school, I can just like cheat on everything, so it's not really that hard. and I've just been playing a lot of video games, pretty much. Yeah.
Thanks, Dimitri. Andreas?
Hi everyone. My name is Andreas Lolis. I don't think I've talked to any of you before except for Paul, but I'm from Connecticut, and we're trying to start a chapter in Orange, Connecticut. So we were going to start it up. We have all our forms filled out and everything, but obviously this hit, and so we were trying to do some fundraisers to raise dues, but that can't happen now. So we're just continuing to brainstorm fundraisers. If you guys have any ideas, that'd be terrific if you guys could let me know. But yeah, everything's on pause now for starting up the chapter. But it's good to meet all of you guys, and thanks, Paul, for inviting me to this Zoom.
Of course, glad to hear from you. George Kapanidis?
Hello, everyone. I'm George Kapanidis. I'm part of the Gainesville chapter, but currently live and work in DC when the virus is not taking place. I'm back home in South Florida with the family, and everyone is doing well. It has made work a little difficult, and working from home and being involved in politics a little difficult, but hope to go back soon when DC clears up. And I was supposed to go with Paul and a few others to the HEPA congressional banquet, and that got postponed to the fall. So hopefully when things clear up, looking forward to going to that and spreading our message in DC. So everyone stay safe, and hopefully we get through this stuff soon.
Thanks, George. Thank you for helping on. Yeah, we had a few events get postponed. We'll go down a list a little later in the meeting, and that was one of them. But of course, everyone's safety for us is paramount. So, as long as you're all safe, that's what we're here for. Panagiotis?
Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Panagiotis Maltsakos, president of District 8 Lowell chapter. I'm doing pretty well. I also got laid off, like some of you guys, from my job. My parents are still working. They're both healthcare workers. The chapter, we had a couple things that we had to miss because obviously the COVID situation. We had a social event initiation in April that we had to postpone, and a fundraiser we're working on. But we're doing Zoom meetings to keep engagement and activity within the chapter going, and we're doing a fundraiser right now to donate to offtheirplates.org, which basically supports the frontline workers during the coronavirus. Just something to keep us going and to keep the morale up within the chapter. So right now, what we're working on is we're just looking, forward and hoping we have a summer or something to do. We're just kind of playing it by ear like everyone else, figuring out what the social distancing guidelines are going to be within the next few months. So it's great to meet you all and to see you guys on Zoom. Thank you for inviting me, Paul.
George Sophikitis.
All right. Hi. If I may get a refresher for the questions because my Wi-Fi was going wonky for 20 minutes.
Sure. So introduce yourself, where you're from, any positions you might have in the Sons, and just generally how you've been handling the coronavirus, both as a chapter and as an individual.
Gotcha. So hi, I'm George Sophikitis. I am from the Treasure Coast of Florida. That's around Fort Lauderdale to West Palm Beach. I'm in that area. I'm like right smack in between. Now, in terms of position, I am the chapter secretary in the new Fort Lauderdale chapter that was established this past year. Now, in terms of how this has been affecting us, things started off to a slow start, but the meeting that we had before everything got locked down, things were starting to pick up. We had an event planned and everything. And then as the month went on and more things got worse, the chapter president, who unfortunately couldn't be here, he was like, we should probably just cancel this. So we were all really upset because all the things were in order. The church hall was rented out. So it's been kind of rough, and putting a meeting together has also been rough since they've all been all over the place with everything going on. I don't blame them at all. Now myself, I have to say I am also a high school student, so this doesn't really affect me more than just give me more time to play Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So, oh, work as well. I work with my dad, and he right now is working at a hospital as a maintenance job. And so he doesn't really want me to be there in general, which I understand. So this is kind of throwing everybody in loops. So thanks for inviting me, Paul.
Of course. Yeah, Assassin's Creed, I think, was the subject of our last podcast, right? Yanni was telling us how historically accurate it was. It's like you're at the Parthenon, apparently. So
It's awesome. When you're walking around Athens there, you go apart, like Parthenonas, like all the stairs are the same. I highly recommend it, boys. If you've been to Athens, you walk around like Monastiraki, those areas, like it's sweet. It's actually incredible the amount of detail they put into it.
like a virtual tour and a game all rolled into one.
Yeah, it's a history lesson. Just tell your prof you did Assassin's Creed Odyssey instead and gives you credits that way and learn something.
I have a story that's
heritage.
related to this.
Oh, that's funny. Chris Papadopoulos.
Hello, everyone. So my name is Mr. Chris Papadopoulos from Trenton Chapter 167. So in terms of how we're doing with in a chapter, we're doing actually pretty well. Before this, we were getting doing some events, car washes, fundraisers, and then this hit. So what we actually started moving on to is we actually started making masks for whoever needs them. So far, we've actually given 50 masks to the police, and we've given 10 masks to the COVID unit at Robert Wood Johnson, along with the HEPA, where we teamed up and they were able to give them some food. We also gave some food with the HEPA to the actual emergency room of the Robert Wood Johnson. So we've actually been doing some stuff for that to help out with the COVID. In terms of personal experiences, I'm a teacher. So teaching from school has been very interesting. It's kind of like becoming a new teacher all over again because my classes were all hands-on. So I had to convert everything over to a digital format. So how do you teach woodshop with on the computer? It's like, okay, here's the lathe. This is what it does. And here's the desk. Done, right? But what I found it is to be able to get all the more details to all the kids. So they have the time to get the details and the history of the machines. But other than that, the chapter's doing fine. We're working with the HAPA to get stuff going. And yeah, we're making the best of a bad situation.
That's great to hear, Chris. Yeah, I know you're sharing a lot of the struggles that a lot of us are facing, but it's great to hear some of you guys that are trying to give back even in this time of need. So that's amazing. Up next, Andrew Melisas.
Hey y'all, Christoph Sanesti, first and foremost. Hope everyone had a good Easter. So my name is Andrew Melisas. I'm the chapter president of Atlanta. As far as the chapter goes, I think everyone knew that Greeks in Atlanta was supposed to be April 4th. Obviously, that didn't happen because of coronavirus. We were also looking to have a Greek night in May. At a local Greek restaurant, but with everything kind of up in the air, I don't know if that's going to happen. I've stayed in contact with our officers, and the general feeling is similar to what y'all have said, just kind of wait and see. And then a personal standpoint, I am working, and I've been able to work from home. So other than some cabin fever, everything's been all right. Family, everything's okay. Unfortunately, I did lose my papu on Tuesday. And so that was tough, especially because I couldn't go see him before he passed because of the quarantine and everything. So, but yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Andrew, and may his memory be eternal. We're very sorry for your loss. Up next, we have Mitchell Benavides.
Hello, I'm Mitchell Panelidis. I'm the Lieutenant Governor of District 2. Throughout this coronavirus, I've been good. I've just been going on the boat every day. Other than that, my job, my dad fired me. I retired actually. And then other than that, yeah, I've got a pretty nasty sneeze, but I don't think that's a symptom. So should be good.
I vote to kick Mitchell off this call.
Thanks for the update, Mitchell.
I second he's going to give it to us.
That last
You
second
guys-
that he fired you.
I think the last to go is Dimitri from Toronto, but everybody kept moving around. But I think Dimitri's the last one.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dimitris Bukovalas. I'm the president from the Toronto chapter. In Toronto, like every other place, everything has been shut down by this stupid virus. By this delightful virus that's been very bad. I personally still have work, so that hasn't made a big difference for me besides sanitizing 24/7. I initiated the chapter of Toronto with Timothy last year, so we've been trying to have more exposure since then. Many events with the mates, so they've been helping us out and vice versa. We try to attend to more events and basically have more exposure before we're able to move forward and participate in bigger events. So far, we've been staying connected online, playing a few games here and there, but yeah, that's pretty much what's going on in Toronto over here. And thank you for inviting me in this call.
Thanks, Dimitri. Glad to hear from you. So I think that's everybody. Up next, what we wanted to do is, obviously, as most of you said, the entire organization has really been struggling, trying to adapt to a very difficult time, a time where a lot of us are suffering, physically, financially, and emotionally, mentally. And it's important at this time for us to be there for ourselves as our members and kind of be there for our communities as well. So that's why we're here. I just want to quickly give a couple updates. As we alluded to, obviously, Greeks in Atlanta was canceled. District conventions will be up to your individual district. I know a lot of them have been canceled or postponed. Most of them are moving to virtual. So, be in touch with your district officers to find out what the status is of your district convention. One thing I will say is so this Zoom account that we're using for the Sons of Pericles, we paid for Pro. And if any of you district officers or even chapter officers need Zoom and you're finding issues with the 40-minute limit, or you feel like you want a Pro account, feel free to use ours. Ours is meant to be kind of for everyone. So if you want to use this for your district convention or even a chapter meeting, feel free to reach out to us and we'll give you the login info. And hopefully this can be a tool for all of us to use, make our lives a little bit easier. As of now, Supreme Convention is still on. We are monitoring the situation closely and we will keep updating everyone. As of now, the last we've heard is that Supreme Convention is still happening as scheduled. And this is one announcement we did want to make, and as unfortunate as it is, Greeks in New York, which is our really staple event of the year, was supposed to happen the second week of June. And we were trying to wait as long as possible, but just based on how things are progressing, we don't want to put anybody's, even if the stay-at-home orders are lifted, and even if people are able physically to travel, we don't want to put people's lives and safety and health and encourage people in this time to travel across the country. So we made the difficult decision that we're going to cancel Greeks in New York this year. It's what's in the best interest for the safety of our members, and hopefully we'll try to not substitute it, but at least subsidize the loss that we have, and maybe we can come up with something for virtually for us to get together. So that's the one big update we wanted to give. And then the other thing before we move on to a couple initiatives we're starting, I know that at least for me, and I think hopefully for you guys too, in this time where everything's very uncertain, there seems to be a lot of stagnation. It kind of helps to look back and recognize what we've done already and kind of how far we've come. So in addition to all the things that you guys have talked about on the chapter level, I just wanted to quickly summarize, like, now's the time when a lot of us, I think, are feeling like maybe a little discouraged and unmotivated. So I wanted to summarize really quick for everybody the kind of year that we've had, just so that this way we can hear it all at once, how much we've accomplished this year. And I mean, I made a quick list and I'll just read it off quickly. We had 2 new events in Greeks in Charlotte and Greeks in Seattle, brand new events, great attendance for both of them. We've made staggering advancements in Greek genocide recognition, educational presentations. We got the governor of New Jersey to issue a proclamation recognizing the Greek genocide for the first time. Our districts have had fall conferences, mid-year conference, and overall our districts have been growing. We now have 3 district lodges in 2, 5, and 6, which is something we should be very proud of. We've rolled out new web services, chapter dues payment. We've rolled out contact tools. We've been involved in international affairs, holding Turkey accountable for its rhetoric and even getting involved in the migrant crisis. We started off the year with $15,000 donated to service dogs. And we implemented a Rising Sons program, culminating in a Rising Sons conference where a group of our best and brightest went to the Open Center in South Carolina and spent a weekend serving the metropolis of Atlanta and undergoing professional development at the same time. All these things have been published very frequently. We've been published in the Papist Post, Hellenic News of America, and our social media presence has been at all-time highs. And we even, as far as membership, we've had new chapters in Orlando, Fort Lauderdale, Dayton, Ohio, Greenville, South Carolina. And we've established presence in Kentucky, Portland, Oregon, Rhode Island, Connecticut, Utah, Maryland, and even internationally, Cyprus. And we even have one of my proudest initiations as a U.S. Marine stationed in Okinawa, Japan. He's a second lieutenant in the U.S. Marines, which he felt honored that he wanted by looking at what we have done to become a Sons member. So, that's a quick highlight of where we've come this year. And I just think it's good for us to hear, like, above all else, above all the adversity we've faced, we still have done a lot as an organization this year. And it's something that we all should be proud of. And you each as a chapter, I recommend that in this time you do this too, go to your chapter level and kind of look back, because I know it's discouraging when we say, well, this is canceled, this is canceled, this is canceled. But look back at what you've done since your district convention, since your Supreme Convention, and realize how much impact you've already had. And it kind of puts things in perspective for you as far as where we're at. And of course, the JED Foundation, which leads into our next topic, was our national project. And we already raised a lot of money, promoting mental health awareness, providing mental health resources. Now, that is our national project. And this brings us to, I think, the main reason we wanted to have this call. So all these things are great things, and they're accomplishments that we've done so far this year. But the fact of the matter is, and why we want to gather everyone together, is we were hit with a global pandemic, a global disaster that has, like we said, affected all of us physically, financially, mentally, emotionally. And, we have our other projects, but Alex Mellis from Albany put this best at one point when we were talking. We are essentially at war with an invisible enemy. And in wartime, we drop what we're doing and we collectively come together to fight a common battle. Now, some of you have been doing that already. Chris Papadopoulos, you said how you've been offering, masks to people in need in New Jersey. Panayoti, you mentioned raising money for, providing food to frontline workers. And those are fantastic things. And we encourage you, to the extent you've already been doing so, to keep using those local efforts as ways to help the community. But in addition to that, what we're hoping to do is start a national coordinated campaign helping you guys and guiding you to how to get involved in relief. And with any disaster, whether it's natural disaster, which we've gotten involved in before, now we're talking a different type of disaster and crisis. There are different ways that we have to handle it. There are tangible benefits that we can provide. There are financial benefits, and there are intangibles. There are short-term and long-term goals that we want to reach. There are short-term and long-term issues that we're facing. So you all should have received, and if you haven't already, reach out to us, a document that kind of outlines what our kind of strategy is for handling this, what we're kind of charging our chapters to do. I have it open, and I just wanted to discuss it. I'll kind of outline it for you guys, summarize it, but I want this to be an opportunity for questions and answers as much as possible. what I will what I kind of will start off with at the outset is, if any of you, after hearing this, specifically want to be involved in coordination, because this is going to take a lot of coordination to do properly. I know, Alex, you said one of the issues you had was, people want to help, but they don't want to leave their houses. How do we coordinate the logistics of it? So this is going to take a lot of communication with your Supreme Lodge liaisons, a lot of coordination with all of us, but that's what we're here for. We're here to help in a time of need and help our communities. And from the Supreme Lodge, we're here to coordinate a national effort to best help your local community, and really international effort. So just a few ways that we're trying to get people to help. There's the donation of household supplies. So breaking this down into two specific paths, there are physical service you can provide, physical service and donations, and then there's the monetary aspect. So from the tangible donation and services side, we are encouraging all of you to go to your chapters, go to your members, and if any of you have household essentials that you're willing to donate, or even sanitizing supplies that you might have, donate them to nursing homes, to hospitals, to schools, to houses, to your community members who might not have them. I know here in New Jersey, we're getting hit very bad. I'm 30 minutes outside the city, and even for us who are young and pretty healthy, it's difficult for us to go outside and grocery shop. And there's lines all over the place. And for somebody who's elderly or vulnerable to take that risk, it's very difficult for them. So to the extent we have household supplies, or maybe even offer to do grocery shopping for somebody, what we're encouraging logistically is, because with all of these things that we're proposing, we have to make sure that we're staying safe and responsible, following CDC guidelines. So what we're proposing, if you do donate food, water, non-perishables, other household essentials, we would recommend that you have all of your chapter collect supplies and then delegate one person who will wear the proper protective equipment, sanitize all the supplies, and deliver them to the areas of need. Either one or two people, so that this way your chapter members aren't leaving their house. You're lessening the risk of contamination by having multiple different deliveries, and you have one touch person that is from point A to point B to make sure that we're handling this responsibly. Try to, as much as if you have people locally that you want to help, that's good, but try to prioritize institutional organizations, because they are more likely to have better practices as far as sanitizing. Even if you don't properly sanitize and properly deliver, you can trust that that organization or institution will. So that's also going to minimize your threat of spreading the disease. In addition to household essentials, we also are providing options for either donating or making personal protective equipment, PPE. So that could be masks, face shields, gloves. As the CDC recommends, what we're explaining to our chapters is that if you are at home and you are not an essential worker and you are a frontline worker, if you are not a frontline worker, and you for some reason have N95 masks, other industrial grade professional PPE, consider donating that to the essential workers, frontline workers, hospitals. And for yourself, make cloth masks. We are including links to getusppe.org, which provides medically reviewed instructions on how to make PPE. And consider the fact, as the CDC recommends, that the industrial level N95 mask and other PPE should be reserved in times of shortages for healthcare workers, essential workers, frontline workers. So consider that. And if you have them, donate them. If you want to get involved with making them, which I think as Trenton has already done, and what we want to kind of scale up to be an international project. If you want to get involved in making them, we highly encourage. And again, similar to the donation essentials, you would have your chapters make them. So maybe it's shipping the raw materials to their house directly, which we will be happy to help with. Once they make them, one person will pick up the finished product and donate them accordingly. So those are the tangible ways we can get involved. And then, of course, monetary relief. There's, as we said, we're breaking it down into short-term and long-term issues. There's the short-term, of course, disease itself, and that's people's safety, people's health. That is our first and foremost concern, and that's going to be making sure that they get the help they need monetarily if they need it. But there's the long-term effects as well, and that's where we're hoping that we can suggest, if you have one already. So I know Panayoti, you have, what was the organization called, Panayoti, that you guys are fundraising for?
It's called offtheirplate.org. Yeah.
Okay. So if you have an organization in mind already, feel free to keep using it. Keep, donate to them. But we wanted to suggest United Way as an option to provide monetary relief for long-term efforts. And what I personally like about United Way, they provide food, shelter, education, and financial stability to people in need, which is exactly what people are going to need long-term when we're facing this type of crisis. And what I particularly like about United Way is they have national options. So they have a worldwide fund, but they also have community options, so you can donate locally. Because at the end of the day, if we can all impact our local communities, then our impact is going to be greater on the international scale by working collectively, but by directly affecting our local communities. So I was able to look up by county in New Jersey, which community fund to donate. And I think that's something that we should encourage for all of you as chapters to donate to your local community United Way fund if you're going to fundraise and you don't have an option already. If your area's not getting hit that hard or you feel like there's not a local community fund that you want to contribute to, feel free to donate to the worldwide fund as well and help another community that might be more in need. But we're hoping that all of this kind of provides you with a structure to act and get involved and help out, but we want to make sure you have the discretion as a chapter, understanding that you know what's best for your communities. So we are here to guide you. We don't want you to send money to us. If you want advice on how where to send it, we will help, but we want the donations, we want the involvement to be directly on the chapter level, and we will be here to coordinate. We will be here to organize these efforts in any way we can. So I know that's a lot of information, but that's really, like I said, the ability of us to kind of come together in what essentially is a wartime and all pitch whatever we can, even if you just make one mask. If every one of our members made one mask, we'd have hundreds and hundreds of masks. To the extent you're able, please get involved. The more you want to get involved, please let us know. But this is supposed to be a structure for all of us to kind of have an impact, take a very difficult situation and try to be part of the solution rather than part of the problem. And of course, all of this, we want to make sure that we are doing this responsibly and safely, following state government guidelines, federal government guidelines, and acting accordingly. So I know, like I said, I know that's a lot, but to the extent any of you have questions, I'd like to open it up now for questions. Just feel free to unmute yourself. If it gets crazy, we'll mute, but I think we should be okay with just unmuting, asking your question, and then muting. So do we have any questions?
I have a question.
Sure.
So the document you're talking about, was that sent through email, or how would I get that?
So it was sent through email ahead of the meeting. I know that there were some people who didn't get the email or it just didn't go through. So what we'll do is this will also be posted all over our social media. If you don't have it, I also have it on my phone. So if you need it, I can't directly text everyone, but if you reach out to me, I'll make sure you get it. So if you didn't get it, reach out, but it'll be on our social media after tonight's meeting. We'll probably send out an email blast as well to everybody, but if you need it texted directly to you, we can do that as well. But we just kind of wanted to go over it briefly here. So.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Any other questions?
Would you like it to where if each of one of us reposted the post that you're about to make with the document, and that if we were to tag different places, that maybe we could spread the word if we can't do anything physically?
Yeah, I think the more that we kind of promote this effort, and even within, maybe your chapter can't do it, but another chapter can. So I think, of course, promotion is key with this stuff. The more people that know that we're getting involved, the more people that are likely to get involved. So all of this stuff, we want to make sure that people understand what we're doing. If you are, same thing goes to be said, if you do end up getting involved, reach out to us, send us pictures and stuff, of course, for promotion so people can see the effort we're making, but also so we know not to double our efforts and we know, okay, this area is taken care of because this chapter has a handle. It's important, especially now, for us to direct our resources as efficiently as possible. So if your community is kind of held down and you've got it under control, that's something that we would want to know so we know to focus on the communities of greater need. So yes, to the extent you're able to, take this document, take the information you have and promote it as best as you can, and communication is going to be our best friend right now. So any other questions.
How's episode 4 coming along?
Episode 4 will either be filmed tonight or not tonight, but I don't know when. So we will see. But yes, we do it. That was one of the things I left off the list of accomplishments. If you guys don't know, we have a new podcast, SOP Talks. It's helping us stay together virtually. If you guys want to be guests on it, I know Alex Melas already was. We had Nikki Konomu on, our first or second. And if you guys want to be on, feel free to let us know. But yeah, we're excited about it.
You have to be over 18.
Also, to speak to Paul's point, feel free to share anything that we post. We post, we're on Instagram, we're on Spotify now, we're on Anchor FM, we're about to be on Apple Music, we're all over Facebook, we're on Instagram, LinkedIn, that's the one.
You need a Twitch.
So if you guys ever see our post, please feel free, go give it a share, do whatever you need to do. If you need to tag somebody in there, we ask you, of course, use your brain. We want you to tag some good people. But, if you ever have any question, probably Instagram or anything like that, if you don't, for some reason, I'm sure most people in this chat have, one of our numbers and or emails. However, for those of you that who do not, or if you prefer, if something else is faster for you, Instagram, email, Facebook, or LinkedIn, I'm pretty responsive. I have all these on my phone. I see them as soon as you send me a message. So feel free. If you ever have an idea, if you want to get the word out about something that you're doing that's a little bit bigger than your local, a little bit bigger than your district, you're kind of seeking the help from those around you or the entire nation, please feel free. Send me the information. I can give it a post. Minimally, I can give it a boost on our story, whatever it might be. Words, they're so hard. I don't talk to people very much because there's Corona now. This is actually the first shirt I've put on in many days. Anyways, if there's any way you feel like we can help you, please feel free to let us know. Thank you.
Thanks, Ryan. Yeah, I know I've been saying for a while that our biggest asset is our communication, and we, as a grassroots organization, we depend on the chapters communicating to us and us communicating back down to the chapters. So your ability as a chapter to get an international audience is going to help you, and our ability as an international board to be able to mobilize our grassroots is going to help the entire organization. So make sure we're still, especially now, it becomes that much more important to make sure we're all in constant contact with each other. To the extent, actually, one thing I wouldn't mind is if you got the email or even text us directly, kind of provide feedback, let us know if this is something you'd want to do again, have an organization-wide meeting. I think it might be something in these times that is important to get together once in a while. But if that's something you'd be interested in, feel free to let us know. What I did want to kind of say in regards to Corona relief. So like I said, we have the tangible stuff, but we have the monetary aspect. And we do have two kind of initiatives that we are rolling out to help out monetarily on the national level. So the first one is by popular demand, we are going to be making Greeks in Atlanta t-shirts, commemorative. We will probably have like a combined Greeks in Atlanta, Greeks in New York t-shirt as of now, and make a commemorative postponed events t-shirt. We will be selling those to what I would like to do, because I know a couple of you have said you've been having fundraisers get canceled and it's making it difficult for your chapter. What I'd like to do is roll out something we've been talking about for a while and have a kind of national merchandise effort where we will make these shirts at cost. We will order a lot of them because we will order them in bulk. And I mean, we will order them in bulk, so we will get cheaper prices. We will sell them to you at a little bit of a markup. As any proceeds we make is going to go to Corona relief, and we'll sell it to you less, like still a small enough price to where you can resell it and make money for your chapter. So it will help. It will be for community service. It will allow us to coordinate for you guys to take the hassle off of you. And this will be an easy way for you to make a little bit of money to sustain your chapter at a time when all of our physical fundraisers are getting canceled. So, and we can even coordinate national shipping if we need to, and we can figure that kind of stuff out. But we'll go ahead and be rolling this out. And if you're interested, feel free to reach out to us and expect more information. So that's one way we'll be raising money. And then the other way we'll be doing it, I know Nick alluded to it earlier. I think you're doing a chapter level, which we definitely want to participate in, but we're going to do a nationwide COD tournament, which I'm really excited about. I think could be really interesting. I don't know when it's going to be yet, probably in the next couple of weeks, but one weekend in the next couple of weeks, we're going to do a Call of Duty tournament, probably teams of 4. We will decide as a lodge what the registration fee is, and we'll decide logistically how we're going to handle it. But all of our Sons members are going to go head to head, play some COD, and whoever wins is going to get cash prize for their team, and any proceeds we make on national again will go to Corona relief. So those are the 2 things to look out for. It kind of, it's going to help with our community service. Obviously, our motto is Heritage Service Brotherhood, so this is our service, but we're also going to get some brotherhood in there because it's going to allow us to communicate with each other and get together virtually in these difficult times. So those are a couple initiatives we're rolling out. Again, I'll pause one last time for questions.
Now, will that be sent through email again?
Yeah, we'll send details on email. We're going to try to figure out the best way to get logistically everyone involved, so that this way, like for example, Call of Duty, I don't want to have to add 50 people to a party or something. So logistically, we'll figure out how we're going to handle this.
Can we make a Twitch?
I took the words right out of my mouth. I think our resident Call of Duty MVP, Tim Noitzis, is going to be Twitch streaming because he'll probably be playing the most. He's shaking his head, but he's not going to die, so I trust it to happen.
Really good.
So he's fun to watch. I highly recommend it. But I think we are going to try to record it for everybody to watch and make a little bit of a spectacle of it. So I'm really looking forward to it. Yanni, did you have a question, or were you just saying hi? Did you miss me already? What's up?
I do miss you. I always miss you. It's been weird without you this year. But I do have just like kind of some feedback. You can even put it in the chat so we all don't start screaming at once. Just on our side for logistics, would you guys prefer a teams of 4 and you can be with like anyone nationwide, or your chapter is responsible for sending your top 6 for like search and destroy or team deathmatch, whatever it is? So would you prefer teams of 4 or teams of 6, and it's only like you have your top 6 per chapter and that's it? Unless you're a chapter of like 20 and you can get 2 teams. Okay, maybe someone.
What if I want teams of 4, but I want it to be my chapter? Is that an option? Is there an option C?
Teams of 4 is better.
Teams of 4 then? I don't know. That's why I'm just trying to get feedback. What are you guys thinking?
This is for the new COD, right?
Yes.
Yes.
We wanted to do a big private match on Warzone, teams of 4. That could have been cool, but Activision has not been answering my calls. So
I think they're more worried about making sure their servers don't crash.
No, I think if we could get Activision to roll out a private Warzone just for the Suns, that would be our biggest accomplishment.
Not that much to ask for.
I know we listed a lot of achievements, but if we can get a gaming company to issue a private map for us, that's it. That'll be better than any sponsorship you can
I
do.
mean, if we make like a Sons of Pericles tournament Twitch and just like have somebody like the way that Overwatch has their spectators, or not the spectators, their commenters, and just have somebody going through it with everything. Maybe that might be a way. Be like, hey, we're going to promote your game. Why don't you give us like a private match setting?
Interesting. We might really go through with this. All right. Well, we will try to get Activision to make private Warzone, see how that goes. In parallel, in case it doesn't work, I think it's going to work. But if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. We want to have a plan B.
Monopoly.
If it doesn't work, we're going to do, I think teams of 4 works best. What we'll do is, if you have a chapter team of 4, obviously, just like we do for the basketball tournaments, right? If you have a team, put in a team. If you can't find a team, we'll get you a team, just to register as a free agent, and we'll put you with somebody else. So I think that's how we can do it. I know the chapters, especially like if they haven't seen each other in a while, would probably love to play together and compete. So
team names.
That's probably team names will be good. Best team name might get something. I don't know. We'll make this fun, but we'll be rolling out details. If you guys have advice, let us know.
Wait, so do you have to play with people in your chapter? Because like everyone in my chapter is trash.
So let me. Well, I'm sure they would love to hear that. Ideally, you would play with people in your chapter because it's going to help your chapter brotherhood. But if I'm not going to force you to do anything, you send us a team of 4, we're going to say, okay, that's a team of 4. Sounds good.
I'm with them.
Basketball tournament, you can't outsource
Yeah, you can bring in ringers.
No
We
ringers.
won't.
Come on now.
We won't disqualify for you. We won't disqualify you. Tim's our ringer, so he's not even really on the lodge. We actually elected him just so he could be COD like MVP, and we foresaw this coming in July, and we just threw him in here just for this.
It's the only reason I'm here.
The time has come.
I know a lot of you guys have thrown it in there, but if you haven't, I'm smart, and so is the lodge. So we all own an Xbox. So if you want to put your gamer tag there, put it on, or
Yeah,
send us your
PSN.
Activision. Send us your Activision ID, because PSN is completely useless for us. So gamer tags or Activision.
Man, I'm gonna have to re-download Warzone now. I got rid of it so I can download Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I gotta decide which one's worse. I have to say it's very accurate, like the way they're doing everything. And this is how we got an esports team. This is how we're gonna go competitive.
If there's no other questions, I know there's a lot of us on it. I don't want to hold anybody too long. What I do want to do really quick is let's close out the meeting. I think we kind of got a lot covered. I'm glad to hear from you guys. Andrea, did you have a question? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, are we gonna do like, I like the idea of having the Call of Duty tournament, but are you guys gonna do anything else like social or fundraising nationwide, to have fun or something like that?
Right now, those are the two things we have on the docket. If you have suggestions and there's something you'd like to see us implement, feel free to reach out to us offline. But those are the two things we have right now. Then once that's over, I'm sure we'll come up with something, because this could be a while and we want to make sure we're all staying engaged. But I think if you guys have suggestions, we're always happy to reach out and kind of coordinate something. But right now, step by step as far as our events. So we have the COD tournament, and then we'll see where we're at. But I agree. I mean, I think this is going to be. One of the things I had in my notes was communication efforts going forward. Obviously we value our physical contact and we want to be seeing each other in person. But I think moving forward, we're going to have to get a lot more comfortable, and the Suns have been very good about it, but we are going to have to get a lot more comfortable in adapting to virtual contact, because I think that this is going to be a long-term adapting that we have to do. And so something like this, where we have meetings once a month maybe, or even once every couple months, just a giant Zoom call with all of our presidents and governors, might not be a bad idea. Other ways to get involved, keep being creative about it. That's half the reason we made the podcast, was because we missed each other and we wanted to hang out and we wanted to talk to our members and make sure we're still seeing each other. So I think that's going to be like just a process moving forward, where we try to have to keep thinking about these things. And Andrea, to your point, it's a constant effort for us to try to keep thinking of these things. So if you have anything in mind, always reach out to us, and hopefully we can implement something.
Was there a document that we have that has everyone's status, like if they're a president or treasurer or?
So that's one of the things, and yeah, we have a document. The problem is we rely on our chapter officers to update us when they've been elected, and we have some informal context, but by and large, we no longer get our chapter election results form, and so it makes it difficult to kind of keep track of who is president, who's the vice president's a little easier, but vice president, secretary, that kind of thing. Particularly in our districts, like, at a meeting like this, we're kind of preaching to the choir. You guys are the ones who are generally more engaged, but the ones who are a little bit harder to get in contact with, it's because we don't have contacts for them. So to your point, so what we're doing is we're actually going to be, in the next, hopefully soon, kind of making an online chapter elections form, and hoping that we kind of start keeping better track and getting better responses of who our chapter officers are. And then when somebody, I know you as district governor, you asked like, hey, do we have a chapter form listing all our presidents? We can say, here we go. They just sent it in last week electronically, and here's the update. So unfortunately, the short of it is we have it. It just doesn't get updated that much. We're hoping by digitalizing the process, we will get more responses. And so once we do that, hopefully we'll be able to have something for the governors. That being said, if you are a district governor, so Chris and Dino, if you have contacts that you think we don't have, send us their email, send us their names, send us their titles, and that's going to help us. The more responsiveness we have from the chapter level, the better we can keep our records updated. So we are trying to work on this because now that we're quarantined, it allows us to kind of get back to basics as far as admin and maintenance goes. So we are trying to work on that, and that is a good point. So hopefully we can improve on that.
Thank you.
Mitch is back. All right.
Hey,
if there's
Paul.
yeah.
Do you mind if I create a Discord for the Suns?
I don't really even know how Discord works, but I don't see why not. I'm old. Sorry, guys.
There is one made.
Yeah, I literally just did that too.
Wow, this is exciting. All right.
We'll be sending that out too.
We can use that if we want for the multiple teams, because we can do group comms and team comms. So that could work if you guys want to do that.
All right. I'm going to leave it to our gaming experts, Tim and Ryan. They've been doing an excellent job so far. So yeah, we'll definitely. I think we can make this a good thing. What I do want to do then is just really quickly. I want to go around, like I said, when we're all discouraged and going through a lot, I think it's important to kind of look at the positive side of things. So we discussed nationally our past achievements, but I want to go around kind of one by one again, like we started the meeting off with, just really quickly, like one sentence, one good thing that's come out of this quarantine for you. So one positive note that you dealt with. I'll go ahead and kick it off. I know for me, I've just been able to spend a lot more time with my wife at home and had much less commute hours, which has saved me a lot of time being able to work remote. So that's for me. And again, I'll call you in order. Tim.
Sorry, I was just texting Dimitri Bukovalis. Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat too, commuting, saving a lot of time. And I'm like Chris Devanzis, who is still here, I think. There he is. I'm one of the lucky few to still be working too, so it's keeping me busy and getting me out of the house too than just locking me up in here. So
thanks, Tim. Ryan?
I've been lucky to spend a lot of time with my yaya, and it's been a good time. Learned how to cook a few more things, learned a little bit more patience in life, and overall, it's just been a good time.
Yanni, Karatas.
I've recently learned the art of cooking. Currently, I have a pulled pork shoulder that's been cooking for 6 hours waiting for me with a Guinness barbecue sauce and a Jack Daniel's barbecue sauce, homemade by myself. And, hanging out with the family, but they trying to get in the way of my cooking, so I kind of just want to do my cooking. But yeah, I learned how to cook finally.
We'll be the judge of that. You'll be delivering.
You should try it.
George Diabolitis.
First of all, send me that recipe, Yanni. So positive. I'm spending a lot more time with my family, with my parents, because I can't really go anywhere else. I'm still lucky to be working, so I'm still able to get out of the house. Not working as many hours. We've cut down our hours by a lot at my dad's restaurant. So, instead of working 10 to 12 hours on a Saturday, now it's only 4 to 5, which is a lot better. So we're doing that, and we're closed 2 days out of the week, which before we were always open 7 days. So working less, but I'm still able to get out of the house. So.
Thanks, George. Dino.
Yeah, just like most of you, I've just been able to spend a lot of time with the family. So that's been nice. Just hanging out, doing stuff like we used to before everybody had a job and was all out and stuff. So it's been fun.
Thanks, Dino. Alex Melas.
There's been a lot of positives, not a lot of distractions. So I've been able to start working out again. We'll see how long that goes. Reading, I'm a software development major, so a lot of practice with coding. Catch me on the App Store. other than that, just been focusing on myself, and it hasn't been bad.
Thanks, Alex. Yanni Coons.
Yeah, for me, obviously, for sure, hanging out with the family, practicing my golf game in the backyard a little bit here, which is pretty good. Yeah, just kind of puts everything in perspective, you know. Don't have to take everything for granted all the time because it can all just disappear, right? So, you know, think about what you have, be grateful for your health and everything. So, that's it.
Thanks, Yanni. Greg Stathopoulos.
Positive. Just still being able to work. I guess I also finished a little bit of side work I was doing for somebody. I redesigned the structural integrity of a floor. So I was able to finish that. Hopefully I could keep that up. But staying strong, staying healthy, and making it through.
Thanks, Greg. Andreas?
I think one good thing that came out of this quarantine was I'm able to read more, which is very nice because I get to learn and I love to learn. And also celebrating the resurrection of our Lord. So, Christos Anesti, everybody.
Sorry, I had to unmute myself.
Panagiotis?
Positive thing that's coming out of this situation is I've been able to get back into a lot of the hobbies that I never had time for because of school and work. For example, fishing. Yeah, that's a positive.
Thanks, Panagiotis. Alec Economakis?
I'd say positives is knowing all you guys are happy and healthy. My family's healthy. I hope the same goes for all of you. Still tutoring, still doing TA stuff, and yeah, things are looking up. It's great. Things are going great with school.
It's good to hear. Nick, Economo.
I got to spend a lot of time with my family, so that's been really nice. I learned how to cut hair. I gave my dad a haircut and myself a haircut, so that was kind of tight. That's about it.
All right. Tyler Shanahan.
It's on Hanakis, actually. Things have been going pretty well for me. I know a lot of places have been laying off and are tight on money, but my boss just let me know recently that I am due for a delayed raise once we get money back in our budget, so I'm very excited about that.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Chris Devantis.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I think one thing that I definitely realized that's a positive is I'm almost excited. I'm excited for when things go back to quote unquote normal. Because I think with all this quarantine and everybody being locked up, we've realized how lucky we were beforehand. And I hope that a lot of the positivity comes once we're out of quarantine and we realize how lucky we all are. I realize some people may have lost loved ones, but I think that going forward, I think and I hope that people will have a newfound appreciation for friends, family, life, and I just think we need to understand and again appreciate everything that we have on a daily basis, and that's pretty much it.
Thanks, Chris. Chris Papadopoulos.
Well, I'm appreciative of family, right? Family time. And also just trying to be different. The environment, right? The environment is obviously going to get better if we learn from this experience and use less or use what we have rather than constantly make new pollution and stuff like that. So maybe we'll learn from this. And that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Thanks, Chris. Andrew Melisas.
Yeah, so I just moved into a new apartment right before everything kind of went to shit, got canceled and locked down. So it's been good timing for that to kind of break everything in and get to know my roommate better. And I think probably the highlight has been to see Mitch Pondelides without a haircut for like the first time. He usually gets them like every 3 weeks. So I'm excited to see this shaggy dog on video chat. So thanks, guys.
So my favorite Mitchell story, it ties in Greeks in Atlanta very well, is the time that at 2 a.m. he found a barber shop after Greeks in Atlanta's Greek night and got his haircut. It was amazing. He leaves the bar for 15 to 20 minutes and then comes back with a haircut. So Mitchell is known for getting very frequent haircuts, and it's odd to see him otherwise. Well, good segue, Mitchell. You're up next. Perfect timing.
Yeah, that was a clean haircut, though. To be honest. But yeah, so I've been able to spend a lot of time with my family, which has been good. And then I've also learned how to kiteboard recently. So I've just been doing a lot of that. And so it's been good.
Good. George Kapanidis.
Spending a lot of time with family and a few friends that have quarantined in the same neighborhood, spending holidays, because before this I haven't been back to Florida in like 6 months. And you know, everything happens for a reason, and I think this brought a little humility to everyone, and everything's going to come back and work out and be better, you know. So that's what's come out of it.
Thanks, George. Dimitri.
Wait, me?
Yeah, Dimitri.
Oh, I thought there was another one.
There it is.
Well, I think that it's made me like a lot more like focused on like personal things, because like before I was really like stuck up with like sports and school, and I'm sure you guys were stuck up with like work and school as well. So I think it allowed me to focus like a lot more on myself, like spiritually, like physically, and like emotionally, and that's like always good.
Sure. Thanks. George Sofikitis.
So like you guys took all of the good sayings and like you guys touched cooking, you guys touched all the hobbies. So I'm here like I'm thinking and I go, well, there's always one good thing in the bad thing. And you know what? The good thing about this is that you'll probably never have to hear from another anti-vaxxer again after this. So hey.
Thanks, George. Nico Llanos.
Very well said. I don't know. In this time, I've just kind of learned how to take time for myself, I guess. You know, being on the computer a lot as a computer engineer just takes a lot of time out of my day. Being able to relax, smell the roses a little, go for a bike ride, you know, do stuff that I wasn't able to do before, actually take time and slow down and enjoy life. Enjoy time with some family, because now I'm up at Boulder. They live in a different city, so being able to be here with them is pretty cool. I get to pet my dog every day now, which is pretty nice. But besides that, yeah, very humbling experience for sure. But at the same time, also puts in perspective that, you know, some of us really do have it good, considering there have, over 30,000 lives lost. Really puts into perspective, like, yeah, we might be stuck in our houses, but there are people losing their lives out there. So, you know what, just pray every day, Christ is risen, and, you know, keep moving forward, guys.
Truly is risen.
Well said, Nico. Dimitri Bukovalas.
All right, so out of this whole situation, I guess the slowdown is nice. Less traffic, cheaper gas, save out more money than before, and ready for that opportunity to reinvest in the market, since it's kind of crashing, or it's not as stable as before. So yeah.
Thanks, Dimitri. I think I got everyone. Is there anybody that didn't go yet? I think that's everyone. All right, thank you guys. We'll just really quickly close out with a Lord's Prayer. You can all unmute yourselves for this. This should be fun. And that'll be the close of our meeting.
Oh boy. We're going to do this all at once together? Can we harmonize?
Yeah. So, our Father. Start off great. This is going to be good. This is like a trust fall, but virtual.
See, this
it only takes one. See, this is a good microcosm for Corona relief. It only takes one or two idiots to ruin it for the whole group. So everybody stay inside, stay synchronized, and all right, start on my count. Our Father, who art in heaven,
Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Will be done
on earth
as in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses.
Forgive us those who trespass against us, and lead us not into temptation. Deliver us from evil.
That went better than I expected. I thought it was going to be.
It was. I enjoyed that. So, all right. Thank you, everyone. We hopefully will talk to everyone soon. Yeah, Konya Pola. And
thank you.
Christos Anesti, everybody.
Christos Anesti.